Hello, I'm Matt and welcome to the Black Cat Bushcraft channel. Today I'm going to be doing another campfire cooking video, and this time making up a recipe I call Gingerbread Bannock. And this is really inspired when I was a kid. We used to have old-fashioned type gingerbread. Sometimes we'd also have the ginger snap cookies. I always loved that stuff with that strong ginger flavor in it, so I figured it'll be good with bannock as well. I've gone ahead and got myself a little stone stove set up. I'm going to get the fire going and we're going to cook up a delicious recipe, gingerbread bannock. So stick with me and we'll get started. Alright, while that fire's cooking down, I'm going to get everything else ready to cook. This is my bannock right here, and I've already pre-mixed it into a nice dough, and just put it in a brown paper bag, and inside of that is wrapped in wax paper just to keep it from sticking. Alright, and I'll put a recipe for how to make this dough down into the description box. Alright, so all I'm going to do to prepare my pan is, this is not Crown Royal, it's olive oil. And I'm going to put ever so small amount in here in my pan just to try to keep that dough from sticking. And since I'm just cooking this for myself, use my hand just to spread that around in there. Alright, I've gone ahead and got my bannock in the pan here, and like I mentioned before, this is kind of inspired by a ginger snap cookie. So what I'm wanting to do with this is kind of thin it out a little bit. And this dough, as you saw, is very sticky. And try to just smear it out in the pan a little bit, because I know that this fire is pretty hot and I don't want it to be burned on the outside and raw on the inside. I want to try to cook it evenly, and so thinning it out will help me to achieve that a little bit better. So I'm going to keep working on that, and as soon as that fire goes out, I'm going to cook on the coals. Alright, so the flames just went out. I've got a decent little bit of coals there, and this pan should sit perfectly right up here. There we go. Find its balance point. We're officially cooking bannock. Alright, hopefully I'll be able to get it to cook through without burning the outside. Alright, it's been just a couple minutes here, and I want to make sure that I'm not burning this, because these coals are pretty hot. And I can see right around the edge of the bannock how it's starting to kind of pull away from the pan. And it's starting to firm up a little bit too. And I definitely recommend the olive oil, because that's a lifesaver with the sticky dough. Nice. Alright, so that's good. Probably end up flipping it once more. Alright, well I thought while I was waiting on this bannock to brown up on the second side here that I'd talk for just a minute about this little stone stove. This is probably the third time recently that I've used that, and I've used it in the past last year. And it's just an excellent little system for cooking on hot days or on windy days. And today it's probably about 87, 88 degrees out here. So the last thing I would want to do is build up a big cooking fire and have to sit by that. It would just be miserable. But with this, you can see how close I'm sitting to this, and there's really not much heat. I can feel a little heat radiating off of that, but it's not bad. And it's amazing. Right here, I can hardly stand to keep my hand there for very long. So I've got a lot of heat, and I'm concentrating it right where I want it to be, and I'm not having to, constantly run from the fire. This is a really good system. It uses very little fuel. And I'm just utilizing rocks that are out in the field naturally. So if you have those types of rocks around, you can really make a nice little cooking stove for days where the wind's high and you just want a small, safe fire, or when it's hot and you just don't want to be around a big fire that's putting out a lot of heat. I really enjoy this little system. Alright, well I think I've got this bannock about as good as I'm going to get it, because I actually let my coals die down here. I got to messing with something else, but as you can see, it's really nice. It turned into a nice little cake there. And so the next part of this is going to involve this jar right here. And this is some good old molasses. This was bought from a local hardware store. It's the good stuff. And what I'm going to do is attract every bug in my area, as if they're not already attracted to me enough. Just take the spatula. Just drizzle some of that up there. Some people will probably say I don't like molasses, and that's okay. Because I know everybody has their own tastes. But for those of you that do like molasses, I'm sure this is going to look good to you. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, well after all that cooking, I think it's time to eat. This pan's still hot, the bannoc's still warm, and the bugs are after me and the bannock, so I'm not going to waste any time. Man, that is some kind of good. Next time I think I'll try to get it just even more thin if I can. I just made the dough so sticky this time. It didn't cooperate. Mosquito. But that ginger and molasses together, that's really, really good. You guys can see how it got cooked all the way through. No dough. This stuff will fill you up too. It's a nice heavy, it's like a real heavy bannock. Definitely a cook again recipe. I guess I shouldn't keep teasing you guys. I appreciate you taking the time to tune in. I look forward to talking to you in another video again very soon. I'm going to finish eating. Take care, guys. God bless.